The 31st Premier League season begins earlier than usual. Crystal Palace face Arsenal on Friday, as football tries to fit in a Winter World Cup. What is new this season, who are the new faces and how does the winter break work? BBC Sport explains all. New rules. The biggest change is that each team can make 5 substitutions a game, up from 3. The Premier League brought the rule in for the remainder of the 2019-20 season when football returned after the first COVID lockdown in 2020. While most of Europe's other leagues and UEFA competitions kept 5 subs, English football went back to 3. Now 5 substitutions will be allowed from a bench of 9 players. Teams have 3 opportunities to use their 5 subs, plus the option to make them at halftime, after which no more subs can be made. Players will only take the knee before selected games now. Previously the anti-racism gesture featured before every match. Premier League clubs have been advised not to stop games for a medical emergency in the stands unless absolutely necessary. Assistant referees have been instructed to only delay raising their flag for an obvious offside when there is an immediate chance of a goal and tight calls. There will be enhanced searches outside stadiums and the use of sniffer dogs to cut down on flares and smoke bombs in games. In another change, the Premier League will bring in a multi-ball system to reduce delays when the ball is out of play. There will be 10 balls in total, the match ball, 1 with the 4th official and 8 around the pitch on cones next to a ball assistant. There are also provisions for games being postponed because of missing players, although the Premier League will assess each team's request on a case-by-case basis. Approval will only be granted where the impact of player unavailability on a club's squad is truly exceptional and where the club concerned has taken all reasonable steps to avoid the necessity to make the application, it says. There is also a new ball. What are Fulham, Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest fans' Premier League expectations? Watch the football news show on BBC iPlayer. Nottingham Forest are back in the Premier League for the first time in 23 years, since being relegated in 1998-99. It took them 8,414 days and 1,069 league and playoff games to get back, beating Huddersfield 1-0 at Wembley in May. No team has spent longer in the Championship before returning to the Premier League. The other 2 teams coming up have been in the top flight more recently. Scott Parker and Fulham, who were relegated in 2020-21, are back in the Premier League now, but not together. Nottingham Forest promoted. Nottingham Forest were the first team to win the European Cup and dropped down to the domestic third-tier. Fulham, under Marco Silva, made it 5 seasons in a row of bouncing between the Championship and Premier League when they secured promotion as champions. Parker left Craven Cottage for Bournemouth last June and took the Cherries, who were in the Premier League until 2020, up in 2nd place. One familiar team will be missing, though. It will be the first Premier League season without Burnley since 2015-16. Norwich and Watford went down after only 1 campaign. A season like no other, but some things won't change. Shearer Premier League predictions. Who will be champions? New managers. Erik ten Hag becomes the 8th person to manage Manchester United, including caretakers and interim bosses, since Alex Ferguson's retirement in 2013. The 52-year-old led Ajax to 2 Dutch doubles and a 3rd Eredivisie title in his 4.5 years in Amsterdam. United will hope he can help them get back into the Champions League and challenge for a first trophy since 2017. How Ten Hag made Ajax Champions League contenders. The other new manager is Welshman Steve Cooper at Nottingham Forest. The 42-year-old